YouTube, what's going on? Kyle again from ePoolSupply. Today we are back with a cool comparison video for you guys on a brand new Pentair pump. As you guys can see, I got three here. Make sure you guys stay tuned and I'm going to describe the difference of this brand new WhisperFlow VST. Alright guys, and we're back. So again today I got a cool little comparison video for you guys on a new pump that Pentair just produced. We actually just received these. This was produced on 5/4/2022 from Pentair, arrived at our door. It is currently 5/10/2022, so as you guys can tell, within 6 days of being produced, the thing has been out the door and sent our way. Brand new. It's actually still got some of the condensation here in the lid from water testing it in their factory. But this is the new WhisperFlow VST. This is their new 2.6 horsepower variable speed pool pump. So again, if you guys want to see what comes included in the box, check out the link below. I already did a video for you guys on what comes included. So then that way you guys can kind of see what to expect when you're purchasing this. But in that video, I like to also describe to you guys some key major differences between these pumps and how they actually came up with this WhisperFlow VST. So for those of you guys that weren't too familiar with the lingo or any of the verbiage that I might have used in that previous video, I decided to do a comparison for you guys so you guys can actually see it in person. So what made this WhisperFlow VST special compared to their notorious IntelliFlow or their SuperFlow was that they were able to take key factors from both pumps and combine them. So in the pool industry these past few years, it has been very difficult to get product, as it is in most of the other industries as well. So to help alleviate some of the issues on locating products, Pentair released this new pump to help find a middle ground between the IntelliFlow and the SuperFlow. So they decided they were going to take the best of both worlds and smash them together in one pump. So then that way you guys get enough horsepower to operate most pool systems. And then it also gives you the opportunity for that variable speed factor so that you guys can actually save that extra cash when you guys are running these things as much as you need to. So one key factor that they stole from the SuperFlow was the entire back-end drive assembly. So the back-end drive assembly is from where the actual connection ports are here. So you have your outlet and you have your inlet. So then there's a split with a seal there. Then you're going to actually hit your drive, your motor, your keypad in the back end of the pool pump. So they were able to actually take the seal out, use the drive, use the motor, and use the actual keypad of the SuperFlow, and they attached it to the what they like to call the wet end. We call it the volute. That's the proper term for it, is the volute of the IntelliFlow. So as you guys can tell, the IntelliFlow has a much bigger volute compared to this SuperFlow. It's got a bigger lid, bigger basket, so it allows more water to come in and actually be filtered. So that's where the increase in the horsepower can come from, using the same motor as the 1.5 horse variable speed. So total horsepower on a 1.5 horse SuperFlow, whether it be the VST or our e-commerce style, is you're looking at a 2.2 total horsepower. So when you have this thing cranked up to its top RPMs, that's what this motor is reading, is that 2.2 horsepower. So generally for most applications, that's going to give you a lot of power to do what you need to do, but you lose the ability to have that variable speed savings. So in order to give you guys back that variable speed savings, they put a different wet end on it, a new volute, which now gives it more water and a better filtration in the front end. And then it actually increased the total horsepower on the back end now to a 2.6. So for those of you guys that don't know, generally for an in-floor system, which are those little pop-up heads that pop up out of your pool floor, those will require at bare minimum 2 horsepower. So putting something like a SuperFlow on it isn't necessarily going to make them operate correctly or optimally, but you can crank this thing all the way up, get to that 2.2 horsepower and allow it to actually do a full cleaning cycle. But again, you're not going to get the benefit of that variable speed savings. So it's just like having a single speed pump back there when you're having to run this thing at full speed. So now when you move on to the WhisperFlow, you actually have the ability to tone it back and still reach that 2 horsepower speed to be able to clean an in-floor system. So again, I want to believe that it's Jandy Infloor or Caretaker Fluidra, one of the 5 names for you guys. They are the one that will require just over a 2 horsepower to operate efficiently. So you're looking at normally a 2 to a 2.5 in order to really operate their in-floor system properly. So with this new pump, you're actually able to operate it at a higher RPM and still not completely peak the pump, meaning that you're going to actually save more money again in the long run to operate the system. So definitely a cool little combination that they did with it. And then of course, obviously when you get up to your 3 horsepower IntelliFlow, total horsepower on this goes just under 4 horsepower. So obviously when you're running a different in-floor system, this is going to be your optimal piece of equipment, as you can tone it way back in order to actually operate your system efficiently and have them optimal savings. So obviously this is going to be the one pick that you're going to want to go for, but in the industry right now, this is one of the hardest pumps to find. So in order to help alleviate it, again, they came out with this one right in the middle. So for those of you guys that don't know, the IntelliFlow uses a specific cable for automation, which I actually don't have one on me right now. So I'm just going to have Danny put one up here on the screen. It'll just actually be the IntelliFlow cable right here for you guys. So you guys can kind of see the connection point that it will actually use on the side here to plug into an automation system to read. The WhisperFlow, as it has a SuperFlow backend, is going to use the same automation cable that the SuperFlow is used. So for those of you guys, again, that don't know, it's a totally different cable. It's an RGB cable. So typically you've had to, in the past, wire each individual speed into your automation system to basically tell it to turn on speed 1, speed 2, speed 3. Well, luckily, they've actually came up with an upgrade now that when you have a VST, which is a WhisperFlow VST or a SuperFlow VST, it now has 2-way communication. So the glory of this, it will allow you to plug it into the pump as well as plug it directly into the panel itself and allow you to communicate back and forth on setting your speeds. And then also using the application to be able to change your speeds as well. So definitely a huge upgrade that they did on the VSTs. Now, if you have just a regular variable speed, that does not work. They only will allow you to hook it up to individual speeds. But if you do have the VST model, it will give you the opportunity to do a 2-way communication to actually get the chance to change your speeds, whether it be through the panel, through this panel, through the online portal, whatever it may be. It gives you that chance to communicate back and forth to make sure that you get everything toned in and tuned in the way that you want it to. So special cable. Again, this one is very difficult to get your hands on right now. They are doing their best to produce as many of these as they can. So in retrospect of coming out with a brand new pump and having to use a cable that's harder to find, I don't know how much more it benefited, but at the end of the day, they are doing their best to produce these compared to having to fully produce these other 3 horsepower pumps, which we all know is a very difficult task right now. So overall, definitely suggest that if you guys are looking for a specific middle ground, somewhere around a 2 horsepower variable speed, this is your guy. It's the WhisperFlow VST. Part number is 011533. Again, brand new to the market. If you guys search that, you guys will be able to find some information on our website. We'll have links below in the description for you guys, as well as on Pentair's website directly, so that you guys can check out some more information about it, as well as the IntelliFlow and the SuperFlow, so you guys can kind of do your own differentiation between them. I just wanted to give you guys some basis on actually putting something in front of my words so that you guys can actually see what I was talking about. But overall, highly suggest any Pentair pump, and the fact that they came out with a middle ground is definitely good. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Again, be sure to subscribe and check out those links in the description. We're going to have more information for you guys directly on our website. Give us a call. We're happy to help explain any of this as well for you guys that need more information. So until next time, I'm Kyle from ePoolSupply.